Good evening. President Cyril Ramaphosa says the Special Envoys dispatched to the rest of Africa to allay concerns over attacks on immigrants here have been well received. Ramaphosa spoke to SABC News senior political reporter Mzwandile Mbeje at the launch of a service delivery model at Lusikisiki in the Eastern Cape. Well, Mzwandile Mbeje was with the President. He joins us now. Mzwandile, good evening to you. What did the President say about these envoys and how they've been received in foreign capitals?
Very good evening to you, Stephen. Of course, we got a chance to speak to the President as he concluded his launch of this model that will focus on service delivery. Of course, the issue really of attacks is still very much on the lips of every South African. I mean, Steve, we can never forget him when he was in Harare trying to address the mourners there, basically heckling him. And of course, he then apologized. A day later, he said he would send the envoys to African countries really to apologize about the events that had happened. But Steve, let's take a listen to what the President said when we spoke to him earlier.
They were well received, very positively, and I think the message, the reports they are going to bring back are very, very positive reports. So I'm relaxed in as far as the message we've sent out to the continent. We want them to understand. But at the same time, yes, our apology stands, because many people on the continent, when they look at social media, when they look at the TV, they tend to think that South Africans have risen against foreign nationals, and it's not true.
And Mzwandile, in the middle of all of this, conversations about our economy today as well. Are you expecting some sort of announcement from the President on that soon?
Well, I actually did put that question to him to say the socio-economic conditions in the country are quite depressing, and perhaps some of the things that are really happening are a manifestation of those conditions. The President was basically said they are doing everything in their power. Perhaps this model that they are launching today is an indication of how serious they are about addressing the issues really that are affecting the people. Remember, Steve, that tomorrow he will then address a joint sitting of Parliament, so which he called earlier today, which was a very special occasion. So this only happens on rare occasions. So the fact that he's decided to do this, it will also focus on the issues of gender violence and, of course, the attacks. One of the things that he said was we will also be able to give a plan as to what is it that we're going to do for South Africans really who are being hard hit by these socio-economic conditions in the country.
And then the NHI, as you say, he was there to launch that clinic in Lusikisiki. What does he say about the NHI and the difference it's going to make to the country and whether, in fact, it'll actually be implemented?
Well, he is basically saying, he visited a clinic there in Lusikisiki, basically, which they are saying that clinic is a model for how the NHI would work. So he was basically telling the people here, the crowds, to say the reason he came to Lusikisiki to be perhaps the first district to have this model launched was as a result of the efforts of Minister of Health, Mzwandile Mbeje, who then piloted this project, who then made this clinic to be in such a state that is able to accommodate the NHI that is soon to be rolled out. So we expect that this rollout will continue to other areas in the country, and of course the clinics and the medical centers will be upgraded so that everyone can benefit equally in the treatment of the issues related to health.
Mzwandile Mbeje, thank you very much indeed tonight in Lusikisiki in the Eastern Cape. Tabitha Makwetla has more.